Happy holidays, friends. Me and Red have been rather busy these past few months. We're supposed to have y'all a few stories for Samhain, or some of you may call it Halloween, or All Hallows Eve. But when you get sucked into a dimensional rift, it tends to make things a little difficult. We managed to get ourselves out of that pickle, and that may just be a story for another day. Well, anyways, friend, I have a couple of stories for the holidays. Some call it Christmas, some call it Saturnalia, others call it Hanukkah. Some celebrate the old pagan aspects of the holiday. Well, either way, it's a time we all cherish in our own little ways. And for me, well, I tell stories. So that's how I celebrate. So sit back, relax, grab yourself something warm to drink, because this is Spinning Yarn from Strange America, and this episode is called Strange from the Holidays. In the dust of forgotten highways, in the shadows of roadside diners, we're spinning yarn from Strange America, where every tale's got a twist, and not all ghosts wear chains. The Midnight Express of Morrow's Holler, Pennsylvania. Now, folks around these parts don't talk much about the old line anymore. Not since the rails were torn up. Not since the depot rotted into the ground. But every Christmas Eve, when the snow lays heavy and the moon hangs low, you'll hear it. The whistle, long, mournful, like a prayer for the damned. They call it the Midnight Express. A train that don't haul coal, don't haul timber. No, sir. This one carries something else. It carries souls. Back in 1863, a soldier boarded that train. Just a boy, really. Sat at the tavern first, drinking slow, writing a letter to his wife, heavy with child, waiting back home. He told the barkeep he was scared, not of the war, not of dying, scared of leaving her alone, scared of never hearing his baby cry. That night he walked out into the snow, lantern light flickering on the depot steps. Folks swear they saw him climb aboard. The fella never came back. And every year since, the train rolls through, windows glowing with pale faces. Some you'll recognize, some you won't. They sit quiet, hands folded, eyes fixed on nothing. Their breath fogs the glass, but the frost never melts. But here's the part that most folks don't know. The train don't just carry passengers, it carries echoes. Whispers of promises broken, letters never sent, prayers unanswered. If you stand close enough to the tracks, you'll hear them. The voices caught in the iron. A mother calling for her child, a man begging for forgiveness, a boy laughing, cut short by silence. And if you're unlucky, you'll see her. The widow, black shawl, eyes red as embers. She roams the cars calling his name. Elias, Elias. Her voice cuts through the steam like a blade. She don't stop. She don't rest. Just keeps searching, year after year, car after car. Some say she's looking for him. Others say she's just an echo of the past, repeating for eternity. There's talk of others too. A brakeman with no hand, forever trying to pull the lever. A preacher with a Bible that bleeds ink, pages stuck together with sorrow. Children sitting in the corner, clutching toys that crumble to ash when touched. And the cars themselves, well, they change. One year a dining car set with silver plates, each holding meals gone cold. Another year a sleeping car where the beds are made, but no one lies in them. Folks say the train rearranges itself like it's alive, like it knows what memory to show you. Now, some say if you stand on the platform at midnight, you'll hear the soldier at the bar again. Glass half full, letter folded neat. He'll look at you with eyes like wet stone and ask if you've seen her. And if you answer, well, one man did, and the rest of his life, he would weep constantly on Christmas Eve. Sorrow filling him for the family of the lost soldier. And that's the way of it. A Christmas train that don't carry gifts, don't carry cheer. Just sorrow stitched into steel. And every year it comes whistling through Morrow's holler, reminding us that some promises don't die. They just keep riding the rails. And if you listen close, friends, when the whistle fades into the hills, you'll hear the wheels a-grinding like teeth. You'll hear the widow's cry, carried on the wind. And you'll know, deep down, that the Midnight Express is passing through. Alright folks, this second story takes us to the waters of Lake Michigan. So hunker on down and stay warm, 'cause this story's called The Ghost of the Christmas Ship. Now folks, there's a story that drifts across Lake Michigan every December. A story about a schooner called the Rouse Simmons. She wasn't just a boat, she was a promise. A promise of Christmas for families who had little hope to hang on to. There was a man, Captain Herman Schooneman. Folks called him Captain Santa. Was the man behind that promise. Every year, he'd load the Simmons with thousands of evergreens cut from the forests of northern Wisconsin and the upper peninsula of Michigan. He'd sail them down to Chicago, tie up at the Clark Street dock, and sell those trees cheap. Sometimes he gave them away outright to the less fortunate families. He believed no child should wake up on Christmas morning without a tree to dress. But that big beautiful lake, she doesn't always care much for promises. On November 23rd, 1912, the Simmons left Thompson Harbor, heavy with trees, lashed to her deck. The sky was already mean, the wind already howling. Folks warned Captain Santa not to go. Said the schooner was too old, too tired, too burdened. But Herman, he had a heart bigger than the lake itself. He set sail anyway. By afternoon the storm hit. Black waves rose like walls, snow cut sideways. The Simmons was last seen off of Two Rivers, Wisconsin, flying distress flags. She went down hard, 17 souls aboard. None came back. And that's where the ghost story begins. The whispers on the water. Fishermen say they still hear her bell tolling under the waves. Nets snag on her bones. When they haul 'em up, sometimes there's pine needles tangled in the ropes, green as the day they sank. On stormy nights, some swear they see her, a phantom schooner deck piled high with trees, lanterns glowing soft through the fog. She drifts silent, then vanishes, leaving only the smell of fresh pine on the wind. And in the taverns along the shore, there are whisperings of Captain Santa himself. Folks claim he walks in, coat dripping lake water, eyes hollow but kind. He asks if anyone's seen his wife and daughters waiting at the dock, and he fades like smoke from a chimney. The legacy that lingers. Now the Coast Guard keeps the tradition alive. Every year, they sail into Chicago with a cargo of trees, handing them out to families in need. They say it's in honor of Captain Santa, but I reckon it's more than that. It's a way of keeping the ghosts at peace. The Rouse Simmons may be gone, but her spirit still rides the waves. And every Christmas, Lake Michigan remembers the lesson of the lake. Some ghosts haunt out of anger, some out of sorrow, but the Christmas ship, she haunts out of love, out of a promise too strong to sink. So if you're standing on a shore some December night and you catch the scent of pine on the wind, don't be afraid. That's just Captain Santa keeping watch, making sure no child wakes without a tree. And that's the way of it. A ship that sank with her cargo of hope, but never stopped delivering. And every Christmas, the lake tells her story again. And for a third and final story of the night, this one I enjoy very much. I like the idea of it. Anyway, our third story is called The 3 Christmas Witches of Maine. Maine, circa 1700s. Now, folks, there's a story that's been whispered in the woods of Maine since the 1700s. A story about 3 sisters, witches, so they say, who only walked the earth on Christmas Eve. They weren't the kind you read about in fairy tales. No broomsticks, no cauldrons. These women were shadows stitched into snow, moving silent through the timber, leaving behind miracles, curses, and gifts that no one could explain. The first witch, the healer. The first sister wore a cloak white as frost, her hair braided with juniper and spruce. She carried a basket of herbs, and her lantern burned with a soft golden glow. She slipped into cabins where children lay sick, fevers burning, lungs rattling, bodies weak. She'd kneel by their beds, whisper words older than the colonies themselves, and lay a hand on the brow. And by morning, those children woke whole. No cough, no fever, no weakness. Parents wept with joy, never knowing who passed through their doors. Some claim they caught a glimpse of her vanishing into the woods, lantern swinging like a star, swallowed by the trees. And the strangest thing, the herbs she left behind never wilted. They stayed green all winter, as if touched by something beyond this world. The second witch, the Punisher. The second sister was feared, cloaked in black, eyes burning like embers. She came not for the sick, but for the naughty, the cruel, the selfish, the wicked. One boy who tormented animals woke to find his leg gone, as if the forest itself had claimed it. Another who spat lies at his mother opened his mouth to speak and found no voice left. A third, greedy and cruel to the poor, woke blind, stumbling in darkness that no candle could penetrate. Her punishments were not random. They were lessons carved into flesh and silence. Parents whispered it was justice itself, walking the snow with a crooked staff, teaching children that cruelty has a cost. And sometimes she left marks on the walls, spirals carved deep into the wood, blackened as if burned. Families would cover them, but the marks always returned. The third witch, the gift bearer. The third sister was beloved, cloaked in red, her pockets jingling with coins and charms. She came for the good and the poor. The good children woke to toys carved from oak, where kittens and puppies curled at their feet. Poor children found gold coins beneath the pillars, steaming feasts laid upon their tables, pies, hams, turkeys, sugared desserts. Some families woke to find their broken shacks transformed into sturdy cabins, warm and secure against the winter winds. Her laughter was said to sound like sleigh bells fading into the forest before dawn. And sometimes she lived behind a candle burning on the table that never went out until the new year, no matter how hard the wind blew. Their return to the woods. By sunrise, the three witches were gone. No footprints, no trail, only whispers. Villagers told stories year after year, never daring to seek them out. Some claimed they lived in a hollow tree. Others said that they were spirits bound to the land. But every Christmas Eve, the people of Maine waited, wondering which witch might pass through their door. Mercy, punishment, or generosity. The legacy. Now I don't know if those witches were real. Maybe they were spirits. Maybe they were just stories told to keep children in line. But I'll tell you this, every December, when the wind cuts sharp through the woods and the snow lays heavy on the cabins, folks in Maine still leave a candle burning in the winter. Not for Santa Claus, but for the three sisters. Because sometimes the gifts you wake up to on Christmas morning ain't from the hand you expect. And sometimes the forest remembers who you are, good, bad, or broken, and sends its witches to remind you. And that's the way she goes, friends. The three Christmas witches, walking a line between blessing and curse. And every year the wood whispers their names like a prayer carried on the wind. So mind your P's and Q's and act like you got some sense about you. Because the three Christmas witches, they may just be listening and watching. All right now, y'all have a happy holidays and a good new year. Drive safe, take care of each other, take care of your family, and most of all, take care of yourself, 'cause you can't do the other things without making sure you're right. That's the end of the road for now, friends. If the wind carries voices that ain't got mouths, and the river runs backwards just before dawn, don't ask why. Just know you've crossed over. We'll find you next time in the strange.